Hello there. It's been a while since I've posted anything on the YouTube channel. I thought I'd do a little bit of an update video. So the reason I haven't been as active as I have been in the earlier days, I entered finals season in college, and I've been really busy. I'm on Christmas break right now. I'm staying with my parents. They don't live too far away from where I go to university, so it's not like I'm across the country or anything. But we took a family trip down to Cabo in Mexico. So that's where I was for about a week. That was an interesting trip. You know, being the person I am, I'm always doing gratuitous analysis, maybe more than I should be, on things that aren't really worth analyzing, or maybe it takes away from my enjoyment of the trip a little bit. But I was down in Cabo. It's at the very tip of the Baja Peninsula, little strip of land that hangs off the side of Mexico. So the thing I noticed is that the people who live on the peninsula, they distinguish between themselves, and they call them mainlanders, mainland people who live on the mainland of Mexico. And there seems to be a little bit of they look down upon mainlanders, and this is evident because of the way they talk about it, and it makes sense too, because on the peninsula, you can see there's a much higher quality of life. There's much more developed infrastructure, and at least in the area I was, I noticed that, because I've visited other parts of Mexico as well, and I felt much safer. Also, and the roads were nice. The roads were nicer than other ones I've seen. You still couldn't drink the tap water, so it's not like they're first world or anything. And I think most of it is due to the tourism industry. It brings in a lot of money. And also there's not as much crime. That much is obvious. I mentioned that it felt safer. It felt like walking around California, the American part of California. It felt very much like that. And everyone speaks English as well. So that was interesting. The language exchange on the border goes both ways. But the resort where we were staying, it was a very touristy resort town. It was called Cabo San Lucas. But on one of the days we were there, we took a tour of the surrounding towns, and we visited one town in particular. I forget what it was called. It was Cabo San something, not San Lucas. It was a different town. But where San Lucas is very, very touristy, very materialistic, for lack of a better word. Everything there is centered around the tourist industry. So everything there is it almost feels like a commodified version of Mexican culture, and everyone's always trying to play you. There's these insufferable street vendors everywhere. That was probably my least part of part of it, because the the southern mentality, let's call it, is much less reserved than what I'm used to, and it's much more at home in using these aggressive marketing tactics. People will come right up to you and usher you inside. I do not like that at all. But other than that, it was very interesting. But as I was saying, this other town that we went to, it was much more quiet, much more traditional. Our guide kept saying that, he kept saying this is more Mexican. This is not touristy. And it was a beautiful little town. It was very idyllic. It looked like what you see in Coco, the Disney movie. Very peaceful, Everyone seemed happy. You felt safe walking around. And I was thinking to myself, this seems like, or I would like to think that this is what Mexico would be like in the absence of all the corruption and crime that plagues the country. If it had become a successful nation, this would be what a great deal of the country would look like. But who knows? That's just my speculation. But additionally, it's a very riotous place. And what I mean by that is people go there to have a good time. They go there to drink 5 times their weight in alcohol and, just forget about their problems for a week or however long they're staying there. So everywhere you walk around on the resort, there's these drunken tourists, and all their inhibitions have been stripped. So dealing with them is a little bit jarring, especially for me, since I live in a more traditionally minded part of the world. Speaking of which, I'm sorry if I look like I'm shivering. I am a little bit. It's very cold here. It's about 19 degrees last time I checked, which I guess isn't freezing. It could be colder, but I mean, it is freezing technically. I'm not going to get hung up on the temperature, but I'm out here because I like the scenery. The mountains are very pretty this time of year. I'll see if I can rotate the camera. Maybe not. Let's see if I can. I don't know how good that was. I'm recording on my phone because I don't have my normal equipment. Like I said, I'm at my parents' house. But yeah, it was interesting to come in contact with that type of culture, or lack of it. Those type of people. And again, I hate to sound superior, even though I know I sound superior a lot of the time. I don't think I'm special or anything. I don't want to give that vibe. But just seeing that type of lifestyle, it does not endear me to to that way of life at all. I can't just having your sense of dignity, all your willpower stripped away by these substances, and just desiring to you just waste a week of your life that you'll never get back.